Hey, Scott Haase here, and for $20 or less, you can use these two tools to utilize the brake analogy. So here's what the brake analogy is. For youth athletes especially, or anyone new to training at all, they understand, I think, that training is important. We all get that. But the analogy that is used is the brakes of a car. So if anyone knows what a car is and what brakes are, then they should be able to understand this analogy. And what it is if there's a cliff at the end of the road and you're driving a car and you have no brakes, or let's just say you have bad brakes, your brakes aren't very good. Are you going to drive that car very fast to that edge to where that cliff is? Would you go just pedal the metal as fast as you can and go screech a halt or come to a screeching halt with your brakes? No, because you don't have very good brakes. If you have no brakes, you're not even going to move at all. So what we use this for with that analogy is for youth athletes to tell them that the muscles back here, your back muscles, are what slows your arm down. It's the reason that your arm, aside from skin and some other things too, it's the reason that your arm doesn't fall off. So if I throw my arm like this when I'm throwing a baseball, I'll say, why doesn't my arm fall off? If they don't get it, I'll tell them, well, I've got muscles back here that hold my arm in place. So how do we work those muscles out? We can use 2.5 pound weight, which is going to cost like $5 or something like that. Or you can use a water bottle, and you've probably seen these exercises everywhere. So the shoulder external rotation muscles, these ones back here, you can do shoulder external rotations. So you're setting up like this, going out to 90 degrees, just like this. So this bicep muscle here, your humerus, just kind of stays put. You can also do this laying down. So you're like this, and you're right here. So real cheap, and you can use a water bottle as well. When you first do these exercises, it's gonna feel super easy for this one. You're like, oh my gosh, this is just not much weight at all. But do 10, do 12, do 15, do 20, and I almost guarantee, especially if you're using 2.5 pound weight, you're gonna feel right in this area a bit of a sensation, a soreness, kind of a burning. You'll be like, ooh, I kind of feel that. That's what you're going for. Because the muscles are smaller back there. You're not using the big old muscles up here that after, 6 reps, it feels a lot more like a workout. So it's going to be a little bit different feel if you're not newer to the exercise game. But if you're newer, that's what you want to go for. The last thing I'll say is you probably shouldn't feel it in your bicep. If you do, you're squeezing too hard to the implement, getting white knuckles, as they say. So relax your grip and really try to squeeze back here. The other item is any set of bands. It can be as cheap. I mean, you can go to Walmart and get some for $5 or $10. I haven't bought them there in a while. Usually my wife gets these ones or some other kind of variations, and I've got some baseball ones too, but they're really cheap anywhere. Any type of band on Amazon. Get bands, and you're gonna do a band pull apart. So start with your arms here, outstretched. Go here. Pretend, this helps as another analogy, to picture right between your shoulder blades, right along your spine, a pencil. And then you're going to try and squeeze the pencil with your shoulder blades. So right here, and you try to pinch your shoulder blades together. What that's going to do is, again, work out these muscles in the back, which help hit the brakes when you're pitching. So now back to the analogy. You explain to the player, hey, I'm not going to try and throw very hard if I don't have any brakes. I'm not going to try and drive very hard if I don't have any brakes. So when I throw, if these muscles back here are not very strong at all, your mind knows, without you even thinking, I shouldn't go as fast as possible because there's a chance that I might injure myself or my arm might fly off. It's not going to fly off. But there's a chance that I might injure myself either right now, short term, or long term, over many, many, many hundreds of throws because my brakes aren't very strong. So we have to pay extra attention to those muscles back here because they don't get worked as much. With poor posture, they don't get worked as much all the time. And a lot of people want to focus on push-ups and sit-ups, which is all of these muscles. So I implore you, if you're an athlete or you're a parent or a coach, have athletes start working on more of their back muscles. Even just sitting up into a good posture is going to work those muscles. But a lot of them are smaller back there, especially your rotator cuff muscles back here, the ones that are in charge of external rotation, because they're going to be used to working these ones that propel the arm forward but it's our brake muscles, the ones that hit the brakes, that are responsible for allowing us to throw harder. Our unconscious mind, meaning the mind that we don't really think about as much, it's just kind of there and it does things. It slows us down when we want to go fast. I want to go fast, but I don't have any brakes. So my mind says, hey, hold on, let's slow that down. Get working on those external rotator muscles, which is just a fancy word for saying you're moving backwards by getting stronger with a 2.5 pound weight or a 2 pound weight or a 1 pound weight with dumbbells, with water bottles, whether they're 16 or 32 ounces, and then find a set of bands. If you don't even have bands, go ahead and lay on the floor, face down, put your arms out, and just squeeze your shoulder blades together, and that will do wonders as well.